Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. We are halfway through the 2018 season. Our HQ factory just got upgraded. We are looking very strong. Dennis, Staff and Brandy, we are not very good in that. So what can we do? Well, we can improve pretty much everything we have here. The design, the factory, the wind tunnel, the staff centre can be improved. But really what we want to look into perhaps to see if there's anything new that we can add in. We can add in a telemetry centre. All of these improve different parts of the car. We actually don't we have a scouting facility? Don't we have a scouting facility? I don't think we do. Look, more unscouted drivers, so we might want to go for that one. We can also slap down a tool centre, which helps us to unlock some more money. Helipad will give us new sponsors. Let's go for scouting facilities, seeing as that might be a bit more relevant to what we're dealing with right now. So we'll build that. It's always worth having scouters available for us. So spend some money on that. We also want to spend some money on designing new parts for the car. Maybe a new front wing will be beneficial. Let's just go back out here and confirm the parts that we currently have at our availability. The front wings fitted to you comes in at 448 with a maximum of 467 and 473 to that. Let's just see what we can bring that up to. If we don't really need that, this is probably the one to go for. 529. Let's grab that then and see what we can do. Thank you. So new front wing being developed for you. We can also improve more components here for not just reliability but for performance as well, and I think we want to start to do that. Start also improving brakes down here. The front wing we won't really touch. That's the best front wing, so we'll go for that. Where else do we stand to make significant gains? I mean, they're all pretty far off the mark engine-wise as a spec component. What else can we do? We can do you. Otherwise, yeah, just improve reliability on a couple of these components. Let's just try and keep it even Steven so we improve both elements down here. Another sponsors become available. Hapla, with 200 payments, that'll be 2 million. I'm not sure really, we'll just have to wait and see. And now we have indeed got some information upcoming. Race 33 lap, it should be bone dry. We're in Dubai. We've snagged some of the most lucrative sponsorship deals around. The rest of the Asian teams are struggling to keep up with us, so keep it up. We have the final sponsor available out here, and it's number crunching time. Now, I have no idea really. I can't work it out on my phone, quite frankly, what the best one is to go for, but I'm going to assume it'll be... I mean, that's going to be, what, 2 million, right? Over the span of that race, but that's going to be significantly better because that's... Yeah, we're just going to go with you. Hopefully we can start improving the sponsorships that we have coming in, and we can actually go for also build a helipad. That will be useful as well. So build a helipad so we can get that 5-star sponsorship coming in. And the front wing has now been designed and completed. So let's just have a look, see here and see. Oh, we definitely want to be clear out of these two. Just focus on slamming on some reliability on the new front wing that we have at our disposal. Actually, yeah, let's do that for now. Good work. So what's up with the next race? That would be rear wing and acceleration. So we can actually improve or create some parts for that. Where are we worse off? Gearbox, we are second. Rear wing, we are third. So let's get some rear wingery going on. These are rubbish perks. Christ alive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It'll only be the red tone minimised, which is not too much of a concern. Well, it'll be quite good actually for weight stripping. Let's just again go for Access Sport. For our race sponsorship here, just seems slightly better, and again we will be splitting our 12 sets of tyres even Stevens. It's just the best strategy really, although with those temperatures I'm thinking that we're going to be running most of the race on soft tyres. Let's see if we can slam on that new frontal wing. Ooh, it's not really up to snuff. But let's just move these around. That should be quite alright. It's a bit of a gamble, but sometimes it's worth it. And here we are at Dubai. We'll slot in our 2 drivers. Let's just see setup-wise. I have no idea which way to go. We can actually just try and see if increasing the downforce is the right direction to go. Send you out on that. And we can see what we get. Take this practice session. Just to get some info out here. Get both out. Just do that quick installation lap that we know and bloody well love. So they're out here. Bring you in. Remember to bring you in, actually. Tyre temperatures will be presumably the issue here for us. Let's just see. In you come. Now, Woodford, I think, was the one we increased the downforce on, and that's not good. So we definitely went a bit aggressive on the old downforce, so let's try and bring it back in. Maybe we might even want to go slightly lean on that. Increase gearing, and perhaps bring you into a bit more of an understeer type situation. Send you out on a 4-lap race stint. Sure, on super soft, that's quite alright. You are looking pretty strong all round with Vidal. 95% is pretty much spot on. Let's just try and tweak the downforce a bit more on the old favour in that direction. Just again try and give you also a bit more top speed. A 4-lap race stint on super soft, so we're going to get some good info right here. Let's send them out, not do the full length out there. I just think it's a good idea, at least in principle, to get a high fuel load in and get some data on that. I don't think it makes any difference in the game. Downforce, you're not happy about the downforce, so let's bring in Woodford. We might have gone a bit too far in the other direction for him. So he's going to come in. We're going to move him over to qualifying. This time by... See out here, downforce is okay. The others are looking great, so we're making strides in that. So that was good. So yeah, he might want to have a bit more downforce, maybe around here for him. We'll just try and tweak that to be closer to what he had. So go over to qualifying trim on a 2-lap stint for him. Just to gather some information, we'll keep Vidal out on those tyres and see what we get out of him on this run around. Let's just see for you, actually bring you in this time by, just to get some more data out here and see what we can do. Ooh, this is looking very good indeed. Very good indeed. 96%. We have definitely improved that. I don't think we're going to touch that much right now, given where we are. Move you over to a qualifying stint as well. Do we want to do that, or we want to keep you on a race trim? I think we want to keep you on a race trim for now, but we want to move you over to some soft tyres so we get some data on that as well. Again, I think we're much better off running soft tyres in the race. And let's bring in Woodford now, get him onto soft tyres as well for his qualifying setup. And he looks quite happy as well. This might be very close to perfection. Yeah, he's just so close to being off right out here. Maybe just a tiny amount right there is going to tip it in his favour. Yeah, you're going to go out on a 3-lap qualifying run on super softs for now for me. Thank you. As Vidal is now turning laps as well. Handling is spot on. And we are hopefully going to unlock some info out here. Vidal is not really providing an increase in info as it stands, is he? Why are you not increasing your knowledge being gained? That seems very odd. Has the game bugged out on him? I suspect it might have. Or are you running in a race? You are running a race trim. You need to be on qualifying trim. That's why. So he's going to be buggered come qualifying. He's not going to qualify very strongly, but that might mean we can do a decent run on soft tyres in the race. Final minute of the session. Nope, it's just bugged out for him for some reason. Maybe it's because we maxed out something I don't know, but I don't think we... No, we're not going to get done qualifying trim. Very odd. But, you know, sometimes that's just how it goes. So, let's see here. We're quite far down the running order. So let's see what we can do for qualifying. Although I don't think we really did anything to set a representative time. Qualifying trim level 2, super soft tyres level 3. At the very least we have that going for us. And setup, we are looking pretty strong. We did tweak the setup right out there, but there was no gain either way. This is just great. Maybe just again, just tweaking it slightly to see if we gain an advantage on the super softs for Woodford. Vidal, I'm not quite sure we're going to do anything here just on those as well. So yeah, we'll see we're at the qualifying. What we can do here, we'll just take, we won't really do any weight stripping until we've qualified. Let's send out Woodford first of all on super soft, see what we can do with him. Just build some temperature into the tyres, if you will. Just mind it out here, pause. Let's just get Vidal out as well now. Let's just switch focus back over to... There we are. See, this is starting to look good with temperature certainly on the tyres. Overheated massively. So let's see if we can't just whack up the temperature on Vidal and then bring it back from being high. But I think with the development that we have here in the factory, we're kind of just going to have to settle for it. Perfect, but overheated massively on the brakes. So, yeah. I mean, the ideal thing would be for Vidal to get a bad qualifying, to be fair, so we can start him off on super soft, actually, which is what we have. And that appears to be the situation, actually. We're going to hold off just a bit, get them out on a second run in a moment as the track improves. So if we send him out with, what, 2 laps-ish to go? Well, technically 2 minutes, that's going to be quite tight. Yeah, we're going to send out Woodford with 2 minutes to go. And with about 90 seconds to go, Vidal will be sent out. So it's going to be pretty tight on time here towards the end. But I think it might be worth it. Perhaps also just doing slower on the just slowing down the time acceleration on the outlap might be beneficial. Let's send out Woodford now. There is a bit more to spare, but I think it's just a good idea to keep it a bit more separate so I can manage their outlaps a bit more. But yeah, if you look at the track grip will grow as we put down rubber onto the track. So just get Woodford to work these tyres a bit now on his outlap. It should be pretty good. Just again, bring up that temperature, bring it up, and then we'll bring it back down. See, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Start to take out the temperature, start to take it out, start to take it out. Pause, send out Vidal on a fresh set. So out goes Vidal, out goes Vidal. We're just going to manage Woodford's tyre temperatures here. See, just keeping them right in here, but no, I think he's going to, yeah, he's going to overheat the brakes like something fierce. Vidal, meanwhile, will have to try and mind it out here. We might want to try and keep the brakes a bit cooler. Seems like the best option might be to sacrifice a bit of tyre temperature in order to get the brake temperature where we want. Just mind the brakes here. The brakes, mind it. Mind it. When are we approaching a brake zone? It'll be a little while yet, so we can get some tyre temperature in. Just try and back off here with that. Yeah, tyre temperatures are cold, but the brake temperatures are perfect. So this might be a better compromise for Vidal as he starts a lap with 10 seconds to go. That is what we want to see. And with the track grip being as high as it is, yeah, Woodford's up into second place, but Vidal is about half a second off the lead, so I don't think we're going to have it here. That doesn't look like it's going to be particularly good. We're not going to qualify in pole position here. Oh, he's all the way down there. He's going to start on the hardest tyre we have available, though. That's quite alright. That's actually what I wanted. I literally said leading into the session I want him to qualify far down so we can get him on mediums and maybe, just maybe, do a one-stop strategy with him. But still, it's far from ideal. you want to be up near the top. We don't have to worry about weather. We can do some weight stripping, of course. Oh yeah, we can do a lot of weight stripping here. Take out a lot of this, just get it down to 80%. 80%, 81, 98% on these brakes. Let's bring it down here. Yeah, your front wing's pretty unreliable. We can take this down to about that, and you can just take it off just one notch. So a significant performance increase this time round, which should hopefully see us in position up here. Let's just focus on minding that. You can also focus on minding that. Now we need to go into the setup here. We'll save these because they're quite good as it stands. And Woodford, who's starting second, will be starting on super softs. Although that's not really ideal from my perspective. How far can we run on the fuel? 25 laps. So let's just turn it down to 20 laps of fuel. But Vidal, meanwhile, is going to be the interesting one right here. Save the setup, of course. That gives us a good baseline for next year. You'll start on the soft tyres available to us. Likewise, you'll start on 20 lap fuel. You can do about 15 to 17 laps. So you will definitely be on a one-stopper. So Vidal might be the one here. Vidal might be the one here. Let's just have a look at the grip position, see if anybody else has had this idea. Ooh, Navarro, he's starting on slightly used. He's certainly done an outlap. But Vidal is going to be the first on super softs. But again, we've seen in the season, actually, do we want to do the same with both drivers? Actually, no, we want to keep them separate. Because we might have something that tips it in Woodford's favour. Let's just keep driving style on normal for both drivers. We want them to watch out for the tyres. And we know tyre temperature is critical on our car. It is definitely something to monitor going into next season. But here we are on the grid for the Dubai race. Lights on, lights out, away we go. Woodford's in second place, taking in behind Amy McLeod. Vidal down into 10th, but he's should drop a position or two. Woodford holding on to second place as we go through turn 3 on into turn 4. Looking good at the moment for Woodford. Meanwhile, Vidal is up into 9th place, taking De Wolf. Strong performance here as we go through the opening lap. Down here, battling now with Navarro for 3rd place is Woodford, but holding off the defence now. There's some fighting going on. De Graaf is up into 3rd place, and Laura Ingledrew takes Navarro as well. But Woodford's holding on to 2nd place. No, he's into 3rd now. Rick De Graaf is overtaken. Vidal sitting in 10th, so it's a battle for the Super Softs up ahead. Vidal's the front runner of the Super Softs. Down here, but Molly Fox is jumping up in the order. And now Woodford's down into 10th. He's actually struggling with tyre temperature, even though we're seeing high ambient, so he'll just get to work those tyres a bit more. We'll get Vidal to back off and mind it, just try and not burn as much fuel for him. He'll be running along anyway. So 29 laps remaining. Woodford's dropped to 4th. Vidal down into 11th. Still the front runner of Super Softs. We still haven't reached a crossover point then for the difference between softs and Super Softs. As it stands now, 28 laps to go. Woodford's in 4th. We just have to hope that he can consolidate down here. So you just get him to back off also on the engine and also back off on the tyres, because he's burning through his Super Softs a bit more than those around him. Down here, Vidal doesn't have a good race at the moment. His form is fairly low. Meanwhile, Vidal is... Woodford's dropping now. He's having a shocking lap. Shocking lap for Woodford. The tyre temperatures are running high. And what can we do in terms of length? So that's... No, we're going to have to do at least a couple more laps on these tyres before we can even think about bringing him in and do a two-stopper. So we might bring Woodford in, do a two-stopper on Super Softs. I should have thought about that before the race, so we could have optimised his perks. But yeah, 24 laps, so we'll bring in Woodsey this time around. Woodsey, box this lap, pit confirm. That would be what? So yeah, let's just fill him up a bit. I don't think... Yeah, you can just about make it to the end. No, we don't want to take a long stop now. We want to try and split it up down here. You can do, 23 laps, so that'll be about it. We can short fuel him slightly here towards the end, but in you come, boxes lap, boxes lap. Fuel and tyres, fuel and tyres. Vidal will stay out for a little bit longer. He needs to run. Well, how far can we do on a set of these? 15 to 17 laps. So yeah, we need to keep him out there for a bit. Maybe get you to conserve a bit. Just get you to mind the engine as well. I think turning up the engine will also increase tyre wear rate. Logically it would, as the engine runs harder, which will work the tyres harder. But yeah, we are bringing out Woodford now. He's actually not the first that stopped, but he stopped for longer, I think, just in terms of fuel. So 22 laps remaining, and we've got more pit callers coming in. We might drop some positions here as we stop for longer on account of the fuel. But yeah, we're going to let... Vidal is now running out here quite well. 21 laps remaining. We need to run him a bit longer. Just let him run a bit hard out here, try and extend here. He's on a one-stop strategy. No, you don't. You just stay there and doing what you're doing, mate. You just need to mind your tyres a bit. You just need to run... you just need to try and conserve these tyres to get you off the high fuel burn. It's a one-stop strategy for Vidal. He's going to be pretty much the only one that's on it by the looks of things. So it'll come down to how well you can extend down here. It's going to be very tight. We're going to get maybe one more lap out of it. Yeah, he's seen quite a bit of tyre wear. 17 laps remaining, let's just confirm. That is the upper limit. And we did work the tyres hard early in the stint, so I think if we bring him in now, we can do this. Let's just fill him up with 16 laps. Actually, just turn it off again. We just need to just conserve the tyres a bit on the out lap. Meanwhile, we can improve his front wing just to make sure that holds on. So, Vidal coming in for his stop. He's on a one-stop strategy, so this is crucial. The team needs to get this a very righty. No, a mistake on the rear left. That's going to be very costly. But it's back on there now. And, yeah. Wrong tyre compound fitted. Within the previous bits, I want to replace the tyre to drive with... Arse! So he's been absolutely compromised here. He's been compromised. That's it. Shit. So he's going to come in now again. On account of a botched pit stop. Christ alive, that's shocking. So Woodford's now running here. I don't know what we can do now. That was the game with Vidal. But yeah. At the very least, he's now on the right tyre strategy, and we're fairly certain they're going to make it to the end. Vidal, meanwhile, yeah, we're just going to have to... Now, hang on, let's see out here. What can we do on these tyres? We can do 12 laps. No, we can do 14 to 16 laps. Let's bring him in, put him on the softs now, and just make sure he can run to the end on these. It's not great. It's really... Fucking Christ. Yeah, let's just work on his rear suspension, make sure it makes it to the end. So, yeah, just absolutely thrash it now, mate. Pit confirm, boxes lap, fuel and tyres, in he comes. Traversing down the pit lane, into the lane, stopping. He's up on the jacks, tyres have been changed, we're now repairing. The suspension, refueling's underway, and he's down and away. That was a good stop right there. Let's get him to take it all off out here. You can just mind this. You are Vidal, you can start to perhaps work it a bit more, but that was costly for Vidal. He's going to have dropped significant amount of time here, with the Woodford sitting just in front of him. So I think we're going to start to drop some form here towards the end of the season. I don't think we've improved the car quite as much as the others have. That was pretty much just a gamble. I mean, we're aiming for third in the Constructors' Championship anyway, so... That's what we're going to go for. Yeah, and now Vidal's starting to burn through the tyres, as is Woodford. So just try and mind these tyres if you can, guys. We're on these until the end. I'm not going to stop you again. And I'm not sure whether this is going to work out. So we might want to be less aggressive in terms of our championship payout. Because it seems like we can maximise it a bit more. Well, not maximise it more, because you can't really maximise anything more than it being maximised. But we can certainly optimise it a bit more. I mean, we are advancing up here. Woodford's up here, so yeah, we're gravitating towards the front. And this is a story of what could have been with Vidal. Really, with his stop there being botched, he could have been into the lead now. That it is the right strategy, really. Just one stop here with Supersofts would have paid it out a lot better for him, but a botched stop really put an end to that strategy. So 3 laps to go. It remains to be seen if we can make any further improvements. I doubt it very much. And here Vidal now has worn tyres, but again, 2 laps remaining. We're not really going to push it any harder than we can. And onto the final lap here. I'm not sure there's any advantage really in pushing hard here. So we're just going to bring it home. A somewhat disappointing result. Because yeah, I don't really care about you guys having a worn out fuel and all of that. So perhaps now we want to look into improving some of the more critical components into the car heading into the next race as soon as we finish developing the new front wing, of course, or the rear wing. One of the wings anyway. So all in all, that wasn't a good weekend at all. At the very least, we retain our lead in the Constructors' Championship. But yeah, that was a net loss to the team. So we need to definitely think about that then next time we choose a setup for, well, we choose which sponsor to go with, because we might get a bit more of a benefit out here. We can see perhaps for the pit crews we can hire a couple more guys, but they're all crap. Arse biscuit, somebody is absolutely lost their form. That is one of the rear changes. Somebody who's perhaps decent at refueling. You, no, you will have to make do right there so we don't end up making that kind of mistake again. That was very costly. You can move you up to you. You can go onto you. And that's going to be pretty much it. Car-wise, we have a part that we can fit, a new rear wing. So Vidal is holding on to first in the in the Drivers' Championship, so he will get the benefit of the new rear wing. In terms of parts, I mean, financially, it's starting to be pretty critical here. Yeah, we're just going to have to... I mean, we are above average down here, but actually deceleration, we're not very good. We're down in 4th. We have the second best acceleration. What do we kind of want to work with? We definitely want to work on its front wing, and it is... brakes that we need to work on, so let's try and improve these. Tyre wear efficiency improved. That's the one to go for, I think. So build that. It'll cost us a pretty penny, but it'll be worth it later on. Car condition update. Yeah, it's taking some time. One mistake. Rear-wing build completed. Let's talk with JTV Sport. As Johan Sylvander, the interest in signing up his car next season, we're not. We're an interesting driver. We might look into it one day. I mean, I've no interest. I haven't really scouted him. Is he good? Is he worth going for? Let's. I mean, he is. She's been. Amy McLeod. Has she been scouted? Check Q. Is she in it? In Q. She's in the queue. So they're being scouted out down here. Let's just ditch. No, that's not what we wanted to do. What we wanted to do was actually remove him from this list to get Amy McLeod promoted into this. But yeah, we have some componentry improving coming in here in a couple of weeks' time. Now we need to start focusing here on improving the reliability of some of these components. That front wing, definitely, and that rear wing, for the moment, will be the focal point. Then we need to start focusing. Oh, we also have the brakes, of course, to improve reliability on down here. Let's improve those new brakes as well. They definitely need to be improved quite significantly, but they are an improvement already over the existing parts. I don't want to develop any new parts right now, just in terms of a financial situation heading into the tail end of the season. There might just be some benefits to holding off. But let's have a look and see where Vexala is at right now. Oh, they're not doing very good at all. Look at that. They are pretty shocking performance right now. In the Teams Championship, Exala's last. Ooh, ouch. They've not been able to find a suitable replacement then. Christ alive. We'll crack on here. We have scouting report coming in. Pause. Scouting report for Attardi. We're one of the weakest drivers, so really we're not really finding any decent drivers out here. Removing one of the slightly controversial rules for the championship, awarding bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, certainly incentivizes extreme performance levels. I mean, it's not something I'm particularly concerned about. But what else can we do? We just check in here with parts improvement. Yeah, look at that. It's improving significantly already. So let's actually, we might want to take off at least one of those parts so we can focus on improving the brakes. But your Drivers' Championship is tightening up a bit at the front, with Laura Ingledew sitting in second with 109 points to Ika Vidal's 126 points. Amy McLeod in third with 108. We have Woodsey and Almeida tied for fourth on 97. Meanwhile, in the Teams Championship, we have 123 points to Esprit Grand Prix 175. And I suspect if we replace Woodsey, that might change. We actually have a scouting report coming in here, which might be on the crucial one, right? For Amy McLeod, it's a fairly decent driver. She doesn't have a huge amount of potential, so we shouldn't expect her to improve very much at all. We can now again vote here, but really, I don't care. Like, it's not really something that makes a significant amount for me. So I think I'm just amassing a significant amount of points to vote on whatever I want at some point. Let's just see here. Do we want to? Yeah, let's remove that so we can actually improve those two components towards the end. Pause and see, are you up to? Yeah, you'll be all banged up and ready to go here towards the end. It'll be a 26 lap race with a 35% chance of rain at Rio de Janeiro. Average is best. Would you compare it to the rest? So, yeah, I mean, we can see we're starting to drop off a bit with a strong early doors, but we haven't really improved any of the parts. But yeah, money is an issue right now. We're just going to have to pay and see. We'll play for just a bit of an expectation here. Let's see what we can do heading into Rio de Janeiro. And what we're going to do is we're going to move over to fourth or above. That feels slightly more achievable. And now we're dealing with Ultrasoft versus Supersoft here, so this could be quite interesting. Heavy rain expected for the race, however. So that's going to throw the proverbial cat among the pigeons, isn't it? Parts fitting. Let's just make sure we have the right parts fitted. I'm not 100% sure that we do. Indeed not. We don't have the right brakes on you. So at the very least, Vidal's car should be optimised now as we head towards the tail end of the season, and that's good. So off to Rio de Janeiro we go. And so here we are in Rio de Janeiro. We're going to sort out this setup, which looks fairly decent right out of the gate. In fact, I don't think we want to send them out with any changes on their first lap. That looks quite right. Let's just see Vidal. Well, we can actually... Oh, nah, see, this is interesting. We definitely want to perhaps give them a bit of understeer into the car. That seems to be what Vidal is indicating to me. It might again be one of those right on the limit. So let's take this practice session, and as you all know by now, a quick installation lap will be the job. So out they go. Bring them in both onto this opening lap. Let's see, no rain expected, but it should be fairly clammy out there. Gear ratios quite short, so again, useful information being gained right out of the gate. So we'll bang in 69%, nice increase in gears. You don't seem too happy with the understeer. Maybe we want to make it a bit more understeer, or do we want to, let's try and go the other way, get some info. Also try and maybe increase downforce just a bit. That might be it, but we'll find out anyway. Qualifying a 2-lap trim on... Actually, let's get him to do that on the Ultrasoft. Downforce-wise, you're absolutely spot on with the current front wing angle. It's just, yeah, definitely more understeer and just more speed. This could be it. You're in race trim. Let's just get you up to 8 laps on the Super Soft. So we're running in the softer end of tyre compounds this time round as well. So we just have to see what we can get out of this. You're on an outlap. Let's get you to push on and give us a representative time here for us, if you will, awfully mind. Just so we know roughly where we stand. Handling is much better for Vidal. Handling's a bit worse for Woodsy. Let's just get him to set a time. Boom, and then bring him in. Just so we see. We're not seeing any rain popping in. Speed balance, it's working. So yeah, we'll see about Woodsy. Oh, what magic we can work with him in terms of handling. We've got his downforce nailed. So yeah, it's quite tight. But let's see. So we were there and we've moved towards oversteer. So let's absolutely bang it up here. Give him really hard suspension. Send him out on a 2-lap qualifying trim on the Ultrasofts. Just so we get some info on this. Vidal seems very happy with what we're working with here, so that's a very good sign. Handling is much better. Handling feels awesome right now. In fact, we might want to bring in Vidal this time by, get him out to do some qualifying runs as well. Let's just see here. In fact, he's going to bring it in. Feels much better. In fact, do we want to bring in... Let's just see. Let's swap them out now. Get them out to run the opposite of what they were. Vidal, we might have found his setup sweet spot, 95%. So we're looking into marginal gains. Let's just try and tweak it like that and see if he improves. Qualifying a 3-lap run on Ultrasofts for you. Is he going to max out at setup knowledge right there? That might just be a quirk with him. Anyway, here we see that it might not quite be as rosy right there. We might want to try with you as well to just see if this is the spot for you. Move you over to race trim, 12 laps on the Super Softs. So we gain a bit of knowledge on both out here. Let's see what we get. Vidal is having an outlap right here, so as soon as he comes around, we will let him push on the Ultra Softs, where we increase level 2. We might not actually get what we want to see here. But yeah, it's going to come down here. It's going to be very close. We figured out Super Soft, certainly. But I'm not sure. Ooh, we're going to max out qualifying trim. Are we going to max out? Yes, we are going to max out race trim, but I'm not sure. We're going to do Ultra Softs. No, just short of maxing out Ultra Softs. So that was the practice session wrapped up here. Let's see about the setup out here. Ooh, wow. Alrighty then. Right. I think we're going to go with Ultrasofts anyway, just because it seems like it's a much smarter idea here. Definitely with rain appearing to subside, but it might come back in. Let's try now. Strip out a bit of this weight, just because we can now already. So we have certainly a strong performance here for you. Down again about that. No, let's just leave you for now. Boom, 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 down to about 80%. Seems to be a fairly good spot. 82. And now we need to have a look in here. Car setup. We've gone the wrong way as far as handling is concerned. Perhaps we just want to soften it up a bit for him. Because, yeah, acceleration is starting to be great. So yeah, we're gravitating in the right direction. Let's leave you here on Ultrasofts and try and gamble on it trying out. But down here, yeah, that has literally been not anywhere near an improvement. So let's try and tweak you a bit more to get you out also on Ultrasofts for this session. we are going to take qualifying. I could have simulated it, but I just wanted to see what we can do. I might do that next time out. So we did do a quick setup tweaks. Let's send them out here on these Ultra Softs and just bring them in, do an out lap, bring them back in. There's no point really heading out if it's going to start to dry out, is it? Well, actually, I don't think it is. Let's cancel that. Let's just see if we can't get a run in out here. You have Woodsy's overheated, but he's coming back in. Starting your lap now. You're very cold, but this is a gamble. Let's see down here, 95. Yeah, we've gained it out there. That was great on acceleration, so we lost a bit on acceleration. Whoops, that's a wrong thing. So that's where we were. Let's try and do that for him. Tai Chai's, we're definitely going to be qualifying on Inters, I seem to see. Let's send him out again on another quick lap out here. This might actually be a decent attempt for him. We will see if Vidal has... He set a time here. Let's just get Woodford to run it. Down here we might get a decent lap in for him. If we can just manage the temperatures. So this might have been quite a stroke of genius for us, with Vidal setting a time on the Ultra Softs early doors. That is not really a great setup for that. But yeah, certainly Vidal has a strong time set right now. He's going to come in now. We can also quickly go over and see the setup wise. See, so we've gone excellent in terms of handling, but we definitely need to take a bit of you. This might actually be quite good, so we can actually take advantage of this and see. Yeah, if we send you out now on that set, we can actually set another time. Let's try and do that then. So let's try and just get everything heated up here. Now we're just going to try and mind these temperatures. See if we can't get it anywhere near. Please drop the brakes. Please drop the brakes. Ah, very close to being decent right there. But yeah, we're just going to have to send out Woodford in a moment here. Just wait a little bit. Vidal is going to improve here. I'm not sure he's going to get a second lap in. Oh, he is, but it's going to be straight in and out. We're going to send out Woodsy now. We've got a pretty much perfect setup for him. Let us go for the Ultra Softs here for him and see what we can do. And Vidal is currently holding the lead. Let's just try and mind his tyres here, and he's in that. I'm not sure actually we're going to see Vidal. He needs to be in right now. Very close. Let's just trying to watch him in my... I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to make it out on a new set of tyres, but we're going to give it a go. It's definitely worth trying. Final minute of the session, I don't think so, no. So let's just see here, just push him on and see what we can do. It's going to be too tight. I don't think he's going to do it. Let's try and mind the temperatures now. See, 14, 15. No. That's not going to happen. But Vidal has the pole position at the moment. Very tight, but Woodford's up into third. So very good qualifying right there. We achieved our sponsorship objective. We could have actually gone for the top one here, but it might just pay out in the race. And it's dry here on the grid. No sign of rain just yet. And we'll just have a look in here and see if we can perhaps strip a bit more weight off of these cars. Just to see if it's just worth doing. I think maybe 75 might be worth going for. It's not a lot, but you know, marginal gains and all of that, so we'll just try and drop it just a bit down here and see what kind of significant... Oh, look at that. Yeah, Vidal's getting a significant performance increase here. Let's go for race trim and super soft tyres. I think that might be the beneficial set up here, although I'm not 100% sure. Actually, no, that's not you. So we can actually wear out ultra soft tyres a bit more gently here. I'm not sure that's going to happen. We're going to go for super soft. Let's just have a look on the grid. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do, but okay. I mean, I'd much rather be starting. Let's try and start Woodsy. That's Vidal. Let's get Woodsy here. Just go in and change his setup, also save the one we have. Again, improvements can be made, but it's pretty damn good. Let's start him. We're doing a 26. Yeah, I mean, definitely it seems much better to be on super softs here. And oh, we're going to be very close at here. How far can we run on those? Up to 15 laps. So yeah, let's just do that right here. And do we want to do the same thing with Vidal, even though he's on pole? I mean, we do. We definitely do. We want to move him over on top of that. We just leave him out with a full fuel tank, try and take advantage of that, and short fuel him on the final stop. Also save his setup. So we'll get them to be neutral on the start, but give them engine mode attack as we head out here. On the start grid, we are first and third. Only ones in the front of the field to be on super soft, so I would expect us to get mucked here. But no, Woodford's up into second place. As we come down here on the opening lap, we'll have to monitor for rain as well. It was predicted. But no, we've actually managed to... No, now Woodford's dropping down into 4th position. Down here, we'll have to see Vidal is now down as well. We'll just try and get them to push a bit. Tire temperature seems to be quite low here on the opening lap. But yeah, it's fairly dead. Vidal's down into second place, but again, we are trying to go for a general race performance here. We can do about 21 laps on a fuel tank, so we can afford to burn a bit harder now. The only concern really is minding these tyres. Vidal is actually consolidating pretty well in second place, although he might end up working the tyres a bit harder here. Let's also just be conscious of the fact that rain could come in. The ideal point for rain from our point of view would be somewhere around lap 15, as that's when we're going to pit in. Certainly Woodsy. Let's get them off being aggressive on the engine. Just bring you down onto slightly less aggressive fuel burn down here. So Vidal is now dropping positions down here. Just let you be slightly more aggressive on that. But tyre-wise, yeah, we're starting to struggle a bit to get both drivers to conserve tyres. We might have to compromise Woodford here a bit and bring him in either early or late, depending on how the weather develops. 20 laps remaining, 5 laps until we reach our critical lap. Vidal is down into 8th place. So yeah, we're definitely struggling with tyre temperature here. Just get them off aggressive engine burn. And then, but down there, we really should be within the overlap now of where our tyre should be taking advantage. And the rain is starting to appear just where we want to see it. Right where we want to see rain, it is appearing. This might be a master stroke in the making if we can make it that far. Go on to winters, or maybe even fall wet. We will just have to wait and see. Although tyre wear is starting to show up pretty significantly now on the two cars. Down here, Woodford's starting to struggle. You just have to make do, mate. You're just going to have to try and conserve these tyres if you can. Just need you to hold on a couple more laps. You're just going to have to hold on, mate. Just a couple laps. Just a couple laps, mate. Rain expected in a couple of minutes. Vidal also starting to complain now. Just starting to complain. It's going to be very tight in terms of fuel or tyre wear. 2 laps is a maximum. Oh, and here's the rain coming. We'll pit in Woodford immediately over onto Inters. Right here, he can make it to the end on this. We're not going to do that for sure. We're going to just give you About 12 laps of fuel. Let's see down here. We can repair the rear wing. We can't repair the engine. We can repair the rear wing for you. So bring you in and sort this out. Meanwhile, Vidal, he's just going to make it just one more lap. Just as we also get a bit more information on the weather. If it's going to start, increase and rain to the point where we might go on to full wet. But that decision has to be made now, and we're going to go in and we're going to go for inters for you. That'll be 11 laps, so just fill you up right here. See if we can't repair that. We can't repair that. No, I'm not willing to sacrifice time in the pits. We're just going to have to make do with what we have. So bring you in. Take everything out of it now, mate. Just absolutely thrash it on the way in. And we're just going to wait and see how this one pans out. This might be just what we need Vidalis in. Hopefully we won't see any mishaps in the pit stop. Just the refueling to go. It's done here now. Let's see where he comes out compared with Woodford. He's made a significant gain here. About 14 seconds right there on that stop. Just get you to mind the tyres just a bit as the rain is set to stay. And everybody else will have to come in. And I think we're looking at a very good performance here. We do a very strong result. We now got Amy McLeod coming in. We are jumping here significantly. McLeod has actually jumped Woodford. So even then, we pitted in from... Well, when the pit cycle started initially, we were all the way down. But now it looks like we have made huge gains out here. Vidal is just climbing up here. He's mining the tyres as he can. Actually, Woodford, you can start to push a bit harder now for us. Thank you. Woodford's going to be up now into third place, up into second place. 8 seconds off the Wolf in the lead. And the Wolf is on very worn Ultra Softs. They will have to come in down here. Vidal is going to take this one. He's going to be off into the lead. But we've got Amy McLeod is closing in from behind. This is going to get very tight here towards the end. The Wolf is in. The Wolf is into the pits. McLeod up into second place. 4 seconds off. The gap is growing. The gap is growing. Vidal's got a grab. Amy, we've got Fia Larson is up into third place, but she's on Ultrasofts. Woodford's now up into third place. About 10 seconds of the back of Amy McLeod. So I don't think we're going to see an improvement there, all in all. But Vidal, you might just want to try and back off here. Try and mind these tyres. It's a 5-second lead now over Amy McLeod in second place. Just what we want to see as the rain is set to stay. It will be Inter's territory to the end. And we still have dry runners out there. No, they're changing in now. The final dry runners are now cycled through. The gap is coming down a bit now between Vidal and McLeod. But that's just because we have got Vidal mining the tyres here towards the end of the race. And that is very good indeed. We can actually turn our Woodford a little bit. Try and see if he can't... Actually, let's not. He's not really going to make any significant gains. All we have to do now is mind Amy McLeod in second place to watch that gap. And it's growing now. And the tyre temperatures have stabilised for Vidal. So he's consolidated his first position with 4 laps remaining. Exactly what he needs to be doing. Right here, very strong drive from him. We'll just get him to mind the engine a bit, actually, so we don't run out of fuel towards the end of the race. We can afford to just back off a little bit. So this is a very, very good performance out here. The strategy has paid off. One stopping is the way forward, and the weather played right into our hand. Of course, it is a difficult strategy to play for. If the rain comes earlier or later than you want. It's hard to, yep, just get you now to back off here, but you have a significant gap back anyway. Just get you to back off on your engine as well. Just conserve the tyres now. Just back it all up out here. Amy McLeod is now pushing on a bit. The gap is down to 4 seconds, but it's going up a bit again. We're just going to have to try and monitor that situation here towards the end of the race, but we're going to commence the final lap with a 4-second lead. That would be it for Vidal. Let's just take out everything here on the final lap for Iker Vidal. Let's see if we can't set a fastest lap here. I'm not 100% certain we can. Personal fastest sector 2, but I don't think we're going to get a fastest lap out of him. No, we're not. Personal best set there on the final lap. P3, he's not really sounding over the moon with that, but that was a perfect race. We executed that with millimetre perfection. Exactly what we wanted to see happen. Rain coming just when we needed it to. Absolutely top job. And this critically means we might actually, and more critically, our car is safe from rule breaking. Let's see, nobody's been pinged. But of course, down here, he qualified on pole position. That's a 2-point bonus. So he's getting 22 points. Jeremy Woodford's getting 18 points. So we are doing a significant haul of points out here. And we are actually seeing Jeremy Woodford moving up into 3rd in the championship. And you have to say, Vidal is looking pretty much untouchable at this point. And we are looking very strong, leading with more than 60 points in the Constructors' Championship. That's pretty much in the back with 4 rounds to go. Yeah, and you have to say that everything worked out the way it should, and we are getting a decent payout as well. Not great, but not bad either. And hopefully by the time that we need to start looking into other sponsors, we will have got a sexy new helipad. But that'll be done when? In 6 days, so hopefully that'll indeed be the case. Interview, yeah, we'll have an interview. Kruger Motorsports had a bit of a disaster. What's your anal itis? Laura's an excellent driver. Just worth also, yeah, is open to discussing terms with us. Again, it's worth just playing the field here. Let's have a look at the standings. She's just dropped there, so she might actually go onto a shortlist. Let's just see here. If we look at our perspective, have we actually got her being scouted out? No, we don't. Let's scout her out as well, just so we get some information out here. We have Frankie Parks. We'll come back with some info on her, or him. Frankie's the name that works both ways. We've finished the helipad. No 4 days remaining, so we'll hold off here looking into sponsors. If we can, just perhaps taking an advantage out there. I don't think so. Our reserve driver, even too good if you catch my drift. It would make me feel a lot better. I'm not going to fire our reserve driver. Shut up, mate. You're just going to have to take a hit on your morale. You're going to get that back soon anyway. Reliability work done. Let's just pause here. CHQ. Just go over here. Factory staff is idle. I think what we want to do is focus on improving our performance parts here. Just to improve everything. It might just be the benefit that we need. Bang that in. We can improve even more with reliability. So let's try and get that sorted out. And let's wait for that helipad to come in. Our sexy, sexy helipad has been finished. But unfortunately, it wasn't in time here. They're just all pretty shit. I mean, we're going to grab that one, definitely. Because that upfront payment's worth it alone. That's what we need right now. We need an injection of money. The next one will be Sepor that we need to replace. Quite annoyingly, that didn't work out in our favour. But yeah, in terms of deceleration, we're now up into second. Low speed corners, definitely your front wings where we are struggling, and also suspension. So can we try and spend some of that money on improving a suspension down here? Yeah, let's get that going. Medium. But it's not going to be ready in terms of reliability, quite annoyingly so. But it'll be ready at the very least for the next event anyway. So let's go ahead and spend the money. We'll develop that part and we can have that ready for the next race. Do we have some scouting that's been completed as well? I suspect we might do. Frankie Parks will be a low quality driver. He doesn't have a huge amount of improvement, so we don't. And we have an upcoming report on the next race. 24-lap race, 40% chance of rain. I mean, I know, but they're all crap, the ones I can choose from, mate. So would you please shut your pie hole and get on with it, as it were. We'll just replace a couple of these people that appear to have been sort of... I mean, you're just absolute hopeless all in all. And none of them are really any better. So HQ-wise, you have 4 weeks until the scouting facility has been completed. And we finished designing that suspension. We're probably not going to fit it in. But what we are going to do is shift some focus here towards improving the reliability heading into the next race. And on that little bit of a cliffhanger, I think we'll wrap it up here for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more Motorsport Manager and probably something else as well before you know it. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.